Hello everyone, welcome to Kalam IAS Academy. Today in this session we'll be discussing various aspects of GS answer writing. We'll discuss the basics of answer writing and the nitty-gritties, wherein you can add value to your answers and improve your answer writing skills. So I'll start with it. So how to prepare for GS4 paper? This is one of the most interesting papers because here just reading is not going to help you fetch more marks. A lot of application and lot of observance in the society will help you. So it has two sections, section A and section B. Section A has 13 questions, 10 questions in question answer form and 3 code based questions. And then you have section B where you can ask 6 case studies. Case studies, they give you practical situations which as an officer you have to solve. So in section A you have to stick to the syllabus, prepare simple definitions and simple examples of the keywords given in the syllabus and use them in your answers. That is the simple strategy you have to follow. You have to pick up the keywords from syllabus, prepare definitions and simple example. The more bookish, the more complex definitions or examples you use, the lesser marks you will get. So ensure simple definitions and simple example. Such examples that if you write in your paper should be known by all, rather than being very specific or writing very unique examples. If you write simple examples which are known by all and definition which does not look bookish, you will fetch more marks. And then always try to substantiate your argument or your point with an example, so that there's a very good clarity in your answer and examiner will definitely appreciate it. And then addressing all parts of question is very important. In ethics, if you see over the years, the length of the paper is increased every year. Earlier there used to be simple questions, simple case studies. Then in last few years they increased the length of the case study, the toughness of the case study. And in the last year they even increased the length of the question also. Each question was itself a case study, 5-6 line big questions, and then you have to address multiple parts of the question. So it's very important that you address all parts of the question, else it will be difficult for you to get good marks. And then again, completing paper of time on ethics is very important, the time management part, that I'll come in some time. Second part is code based question. So code based question are basically mini essay. If you see them, they are like titles or topics of the essay, wherein you have to write multiple dimensions related to that particular topic. So for essay, what you can do is, whatever topic you are choosing, write a mini essay on that. So I used to write it in a paragraph form so that it becomes easier for me to write multiple dimensions. Because if you give headings in the make titles, subheadings in the answer, you become confined in that particular title and you are not addressing the entire code that is given to you. So it's better to write in paragraph form so that you can think a lot of things and write in whatever way you want, and you can generate examples again from pestle approach or individual level, society level, national level and international level, or temporal approach, past, present and future. So that way you can generate a lot of points and write in paragraph form. So you have 3 codes, so you can manage your time accordingly. And if you are writing paragraph form, you can write at max 1.5 page so that you can save your time, because in ethics saving time is very important. Then section B is case studies. So most important part of any particular case studies is course of action. How you are going to solve that particular thing, that is your course of action. So focus most on this part. So almost all case studies have standard elements like various stakeholders, then ethical dilemmas or ethical issues in the case, then options available, then important thing is course of action, and then why that particular course of action. So this part is very important, your course of action and why Why particular, like the justification of that part. This part is almost done by everyone. Not much important, but this is the most important part. You should address it quite comprehensively, and that is something where you'll fetch a lot of marks. So focus on the course of action. Whatever approach, whatever answer you are giving, it should be very holistic and it should cover all the parts of the particular issue. So in case studies, keep the number of options limited, because generally what happens, they ask the number of options that are available, and we tend to give 3 options, even 4 options sometimes, and then a lot of time is consumed in evaluating those options, and basically merit of one is demerit of the other one. So it's better to limit it to 3 options max, and in most of the cases I would say 2 options, because that way you can save your time and spend the energy on course of action. And why that particular course of action, that is more important, because that is where your thinking, your knowledge will help. So always focus on the course of action and its justification. Now one important thing that you can prepare is the course of action, the framework for course of action, and kind of keywords, quotes or best practices to use. So if you see the PYQs, a lot of case studies are related to fixed themes like corporate governance, women related issues like domestic violence, sexual harassment of the women, or harassment of the women at the workplace. So there are various women related issues. Then development versus environment kind of case studies. Then issues related to corruption, that you are involved in corruption or someone is indulging in corruption, how will you stop it. Then case related to political pressure, that your political boss is trying to make you do something that is against the rules or against your ethics or against something of that sort. Then issues or case studies related to disaster management. So if you see, there is a kind of common framework. 6 out of 4 case studies will be on these common themes. So if you prepare these themes well, you can use keywords, data, best practices, constitution article numbers, or data from your GS knowledge also in these themes, and that way add value to your case studies. Now coming to the time management of the ethics paper, which is very very important. So what you can do to finish the paper on time, because that is the one of the most important challenge of the ethics paper. So first thing is for quote based questions. So as I have already mentioned, there are 3 quote based questions. You can limit your answers to 1.5 page. Treat them as mini essay and limit them to 1.5 page. That way you can save half page equivalent of time. So basically what you can do is give only 5 minutes per quote based question. So you can save maybe at least 5 to 6 minutes from code based question. And last 2 case studies, because you have to rush your paper, you have very very limited time. You can just skip the introduction part and the conclusion part, just directly come to the question what they are asking and just solve it. So that way you can save your some time and finish the paper, because that is more important rather than writing good answer. As I have already mentioned, you can write average answer, but ensure you complete the paper so that you can get above average marks than the others. So this was the overall strategy for the GS4 ethics paper.